Alright, hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and welcome to the Rapid Reaction Super Showdown 2019. I know the show has probably been off for about an hour or so, but um, or somewhere around there. But I got caught up. I had to pause the thing. I got caught up in some deliveries I had delivered, so so I got caught up with that. So that's why this is not directly right after. But we can still talk about it. We can still have some fun, right? Let's just go ahead and let's get right into it. Um, we talked about the kickoff show. It was the Usos versus the Revival. Tag team format led match. Awesome. 3 stars. I thought this was truly awesome. Um, so I was totally okay with it. Totally okay with it. No, well, whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. I tried to get it, it just didn't work. So I'm gonna try. Next time. I'm gonna try to use OBS. I'm gonna try to see where it OBS. I gotta stop screwing around, and I gotta just see if OBS will work. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I thought the tag match on the kickoff was great. I thought they do what they normally do. You get heat on one of the baby faces. You tag in the other baby face. Hot tag. We got some good stuff. The Revival and the Usos are tremendous talents. So no doubt about it. This was good. This was good. Um, the next match was the beginning of the show when we started the WrestleMania equivalent with the same thing we started with the WrestleMania, which was the Universal Title match between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. No, not Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. And Seth Rollins was selling. They were doing the thing where they were working over the back from the attack that Brock Lesnar had um, this past Monday. And this match was good. That was good again. I gave it 3 stars. You're not gonna get anything special. You're not gonna get anything special from this show because um, you're gonna get anything special from the show just because it's another show in Saudi Arabia, and who knows if they want to really actually talk about it. But or to have anything special. Like really, the only reason why they had the championship match at Crown Jewel is because Roman Reigns had to forfeit the championship due to his leukemia returning. But otherwise, I don't think there would have been a title change, and there wasn't one tonight. Um, Seth Rollins won with a roll up. I kind of like the story of Baron Corbin getting in the ref's face, and that factored into the match. Um, However, he rolled him up, but Baron Corbin attacked Seth Rollins, and then gave him the end of days, and then we had Brock Lesnar come down. And of course, when you have, Brock Lesnar said that he was going to cash it in Friday. He came down, I guess, with all of the intent to cash it, but for some reason, Paul Heyman did he did the thing where he tripped into the ring. The case went flying. That distracted Brock long enough so that when he went to go hit Rollins with another chair, he brought down a chair. Rollins hit him in the groin, and then Rollins attacked him with the chair and gave him the stomp on the briefcase. So no cash in again. Um, and 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 maybe you can say this wasn't a bait and switch because um, he came in with all the intent to cash in, but Seth Rollins fought him off. So that definitely could be that that one. So we will see. And to be honest with you, this should be a thing. I think it was fun a couple of weeks, but yeah, Brock Lesnar should just be like rolling around, and then maybe he'll appear out of nowhere for a fake cash in or anything like that. But this should be his last appearance for a few weeks or months. Maybe make appearance at Stomping Ground, or maybe he starts chasing Kofi or something like that. So maybe that's something that that's something that needs to happen. So that was that. The next match was the Intercontinental title match between the Demon, Finn Balor, and Andrade. And this was actually very interesting because it was so hot in there. It was over 100 degrees there, and it was so hot that the paint was running down the face of Finn Balor before he even got to the ring. So that was incredible. The match was, I thought it was great. This is something that you would see from these two. I had it at 3.25 star. This was incredible. I love the fact they went with the finish was the DDT from the top rope. From Finn Balor led to the coup de grace, and it was 1, 2, 3. It was a very solid match by these two. So good job for these guys. These guys did one hell of a thing, and you got to give them credit for that. Um, the next match was Reigns versus Shane McMahon, and well, it was a match. I had it at 2.5 stars. Um, no, I wasn't surprised that Shane won, but I was, but it still was. It still is like, what, he won, because he came off and just bam, he just he had Drew McIntyre down there, and Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore and on Reigns, and Shane covered him and he won. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see where this goes. This needs to probably end because I'm getting tired of Shane. At some point it does need to be Reigns versus Shane, and it needs to be it needs to be like an I Quit match, and Shane would quit the company, at least on the company, or he can't, or something like that, because the Shane McMahon vortex is just, it's not good. So let's stop it. Let's stop it. So then the next match was the Lucha House Party versus Lars Sullivan. This was, I had it at 1.5 stars. This was just, it was what it was. He beat him down for the most part, but then basically the Lucha House Party ganged up on him and had a DQ finish, and so Lars wins, but it's by DQ. And then afterwards, Lars still beat them up, and still, so that was a kind of a, I don't know what they were thinking type thing, but hell, who knows? Whoever knows what they were thinking when it comes to these type of shows. So and then we had the match that is going to divide, I think, a lot of folks. I think it's going to divide a lot of folks, which is Triple H versus Randy Orton. Um, some people will say that it was boring. Some people say that it was awful. Some people would say a whole bunch of things. I thought it was pretty good. I had it as the match of the night. I had it at 3.75 stars. I thought this was epic. I thought you're just not gonna get, you're not gonna get the new school stuff from these two, and it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to be. Everything shouldn't have to be like this new school stuff. The old school stuff is great, and this an old school match, and I loved it. So as I said, I get 3.75 stars. I thought this was fabulous. Randy Orton wins, hitting the RKO out of nowhere on Triple H after he took 3 back suplexes onto the table, from doing the Randy Orton spot. So that was really good. So I thought this was the match of the night. I think a lot of people like myself, a lot of older people are going to think this was a good match, and I think a lot of younger folks are not going to like it. I've already seen it on Twitter, seen it on on other things. So and this is where I get behind a lot, because I paused it because it was in the middle of the match and everything, and the things I get was so effing heavy that I just, oh my Jesus. So anyway, but yeah, that was them. The next match was Lashley versus Strowman. I thought this was a kind of a hoss match, very average match for the two. Again, you're not going to get anything special, I think, from from this on this show, but it was still you got good acceptable wrestling, and that's what happened with Lashley and Strowman, and Strowman won. So there was that. A lot of the baby faces went over. What Usos won, Seth won, Balor won, McMahon the heel, Lars a heel, Randy Orton I guess is a heel, right? Maybe in this match he was a little bit of it was two baby faces. Who knows? Strowman went over. So yeah, and then let's look and see. The WWE title match was next. Dolph and Kofi. Obviously, they can do some good stuff. I think we're gonna, they're gonna have a rematch at Stomping Ground. I think we're gonna get a better match out of them two. Is gonna be inside the steel cage because near the end of the match, Dolph Ziggler super kicked Xavier Woods. They went in the ring. They did some little, dude around. Dolph went sitting to the ropes where Xavier Woods gave him a kick, and that set up Trouble in Paradise for Kofi, and Kofi won. So then Ziggler cut a promo backstage. He wanted a steel cage match, and he's gonna get it. He's gonna get a steel cage match at Stomping Ground. I didn't the next. It was like I said, I 3 stars once again. Babyface goes over. We have the Battle Royal, 50 men Battle Royal. Um, And I had it at 3.5 stars. I thought it's hard to rate a battle royal. It's a lot easier to rate a Royal Rumble because a Royal Rumble can tell a story. And it's very hard to rate a battle royal because what's the story? Usually you just gotta like rate it as the spots and everything. Like I guess if you rate it, some people don't rate them. They just some people don't rate them. They just watch them and say, hey, whatever the hell. So but this was it, and it came down to Elias and Mansoor, the Saudi Arabian NXT product, and he won. And he had to do a big promo on talking about being from Saudi Arabia and everything like that. So Mansoor is your 50-man Battle Royal winner. So those y'all who who were doing bets and everything like that probably lost money because you didn't think he was gonna win probably. So yeah, he won. He was a baby face, so that's another baby face. And then we had the things for Stomping Ground. They showed some matches, and here's interesting some interesting stuff on this. When they showed the women's matches, there were loud cheers. They didn't cheer for any of the men's, but when they showed that Bayley was going to take on Alexa Bliss, it was cheers. When they showed that Becky Lynch was going to take on Lacey Evans, there were cheers. There was a rumor, Natalia and Alexa Bliss went over there because they were trying to get a women's match on the show. And it seemed that it was going to be done, but I guess late in the afternoon they decided, nah, that's not that is not right. But obviously the fans are ready. The fans are ready for it because they were so maybe the next time they will have a women's match over there. So and that will be good. That will be progress. That will be change. That will be everything that was stated when Alexa Bliss had her match with Sasha Banks and the company and over there wherever they were at. So so hopefully that will happen. And then finally the main event of this show was Goldberg versus The Undertaker, and it was what you should expect from people who were 52 years old and 54 years old respectively. Probably did not have a long time to train for this match. Probably didn't have a long time to practice or anything like that. At some point during the match, very early, I don't know, I guess you can't call it early, but they do a thing where Goldberg throws Taker into the corner. Goldberg runs into the corner and he hits his head. It looks like he hit his head on the little ring post that holds the ropes up. He hit his head on there and he was busted open. And it was it was wow. That's what it was. So So it was unfortunate. There was a little bit of blood, and it was looked to be a really nasty gash. But they fought through it. They didn't stop the match. So that's what it was. But yeah, and then a scary spot. Um, After the third spear, they went for a jackhammer. Goldberg went for a jackhammer, and he couldn't get him up. He couldn't get him up. If he's gonna go for the jackhammer, he should have went for the jackhammer, very early when he had his strength. Because first of all, again, he's 52 years old. You're trying to lift up a 300-pound man in the Undertaker. There's 100 degrees out there, and you've wrestled for about 8-10 minutes. And you've lost blood. So, and it looked very scary. It looked very, very scary. Undertaker was fine. Then they tried to do a spot where Goldberg was gonna tombstone the Undertaker, but then Undertaker would reverse it and then tombstone him, but they couldn't get it right and they dropped and everything like that. So I believe they called an audible and Undertaker chokeslammed Goldberg, and that was the finish. And yeah, and that it's 2 stars. But this is why the Undertaker should have stayed retired. Roman Reigns beat him. That match wasn't very good, and and part of that was because of him. In my opinion, part of that was because of him. You know, but and Undertaker, stuff Undertaker's done this comeback. You know, the thing with Cena, I didn't mind. The Triple H match was what it was. The super at the Australian Super Showdown last year. Then at Crown Jewel, the tag match was, that was okay. But you just said that it just didn't look good, and it really is. It's kind of time for all of these older guys to just kind of go. I mean, it really is, and you know, I, you know Goldberg and Undertaker and Triple H. Even though I enjoyed it tonight, I enjoyed the Triple H match. The Batista match was just, it was, I gave them credit for what it was, but even that, that's some very slow spots. So I kind of think it's kind of time for these guys to, unless you're gonna do just big spots, and that's what this match should have been. This match should have been what Brock Lesnar Goldberg was. It started off being going to be like that because it was going to be like three. It was 2 spears, and you kind of thought maybe he was going to go for a jackhammer, and that's what it should have been: 2 spears, a jackhammer, a kick out. He goes for a jackhammer. It's reversed to a chokeslam. 1, 2, 3, kill. He goes for old school. That'd be okay. He gets it. Then he goes for another chokeslam, kick out. Tombstone, kick out. He goes for another one. It's reversed into a spear. Try another jackhammer. Kick out. Then he goes for then Goldberg goes for the tombstone. It's reversed. Tombstone 1, 2, 3, and he's the winner. That could have easily gone that way. It could have easily gone that way, and it would have been a pretty acceptable match. But I don't know. It just they tried to step out of their comfort zones, and I think and you kind of saw Undertaker. Undertaker, he looked annoyed at the end of the match, and I think he knew that that last that last 2 minutes was awful, and it was and it was not good. So yeah. Well, anyway, as a pay per view, I rather enjoyed this. This was okay. Again, it's again. I think what you have to look at this show as. You have to look at this show as just what it is, and that's a special attraction show. This is not something that is trying to build to anything. This is not something that this is, something that is, trying to continue a story. As you can see, we had two matches: Randy Orton, Triple H, Goldberg, Undertaker, that didn't that didn't go for the hard sell until the go home week. It didn't go for the sale until the go home week. So, um, you gotta say anything for the Intercontinental title too. So it just it was what it was. But you have to. I think if you can do that, you can enjoy it. So I thought this was okay. It's I will say this. It's always kind of interesting to have wrestling on another day, on a Friday at 2 p.m., 1 p.m. Central Time. Here in Chicago. So, um, yeah, this was I thought was pretty. I thought it was always interesting. So, um, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Um, Let me know what you give all of the matches, what you thought about it. I'm specifically wondering what you thought of the Triple H Randy Orton match because again, like I say, I think guys my age, a little older, are gonna be more. I don't want to say loving, but that's the only thing that can come to my mind. Going to be more appreciative. Going to be more appreciative of that match. And while the younger guys are going to say, no, that was no, I didn't like it at all. So, and I do think that, and maybe it could be vice versa. You could have some young guys that say, yeah, I mean, my father, my older brother, my uncle, he showed me all of the stuff from the '90s and the '80s. So that for me was good. And then and then there might be some older guys who can say, I'm growing with the times. I'd rather see, you know, Will Ospreay and Ricochet do a bunch of flips, rather than two men working a chin lock. So maybe, but we'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm really waiting to see what that says. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. Next live stream will be June 23rd. It will be Stomping Ground. So we'll have to make sure I make sure that I'll try next time with OBS to see how that works out. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.